So I'm going to show you how you can take this cheap heat gun and turn it into this. Now this build is inspired by the new Redfall game, and I know the game didn't really do very well at launch, but we decided to do these builds when the trailers came out because we liked the character designs and some of the weapon designs. So I'm kind of working on the spiker launcher or the snipe hunter, whatever you want to call it. So I took this old heat gun and ripped out all the insides and then decided to build off of that. Now all the pieces I used were just some scraps that I had in my garage, and this is just a 1-inch PVC pipe, and I knew I was going to use these for the barrels. I just didn't really know how I was going to put them all together. So I was trying to figure it out, looked at a few different things, and ended up just going with good old EVA foam to attach all of them. Now the EVA foam was just a bunch of scrap workout mats, so the old school cosplay kind of stuff. And I just took these little end pieces, glued them all together, and started attaching all three of the barrels. So I used a lot of hot glue. Now originally I was going to use a Nerf gun, but once I got it in, it was really small and didn't really work out the way that I was hoping. So I ended up with the heat gun, and the heat gun was just a cheap Harbor Freight one that we'd had for a long time. So I just took some more scrap and wrapped it around the barrels. I just wanted to kind of give some more interesting designs, and then I was trying to figure out how to attach it. Now I took this smaller piece of PVC pipe and glued some foam so I could pressure fit it inside the other pipe. And I did this so that I could take it all apart and store it if I need to, ship it, any of that. And then I'm going to do the same thing in the heat gun. So just take a bunch of scrap pieces and make sure that they're really snug to fit in there. And then I also dremeled the front of the heat gun because it was just barely not big enough for that front barrel to fit in there. So I just dremeled that down a little bit so it would slide in there. Then I just wrapped the pipe and put more EVA foam just to pressure fit it, so whenever I screwed it all back together, it was really snug, but I could slide it off and take it apart if needed. Alright, and now we are just gonna glue this little container on the bottom just to kind of give it a little bit more bulk. And then we are going to move to the handle. Now I used another scrap piece of PVC, heated it up to bend it, but I bent it all the wrong way whenever I was first attaching it. So I ended up just having to reheat it, rebend it to the right form, which is not recommended because you end up splitting parts of the PVC. So try to make sure the way that you're bending it is the right way. But I knew it wasn't going to be a big deal because I could just reheat it. Now I did screw this in because I wanted to make sure it was good and secure when holding it on the side, and I just heated it up and screwed those in. Right, and then basically we're just going to heat these little guys at the front to kind of form fit them around the barrel, and then just I hot glued them to stay in place. And then I just added the extra pieces from the heat gun onto the gun itself for extra design. And then I ended up getting these front connector pieces just to make the barrels look a little bit more even. Then we just flat black painted it, and then I used a bright yellow and a royal blue and a silver paint for the colors. And then for the silver, I just sprayed it in the box and dry brushed it on to get the metal pieces and then just dry brushed a lot of the gun to kind of give it some weathering and distressed look to kind of bring it all together. And then I just taped off some parts and painted a little bit more yellow accents to kind of just give it a little bit more character. And yeah, that was the paint job. Now I forgot to record, but I just took this dowel and roughly cut it with a hacksaw. And then the same thing is I added some foam so I could just squeeze these in and take them out. So if I wanted to have them in or leave them out, I had that choice. Then I just used some gaff tape, wrapped it around the handle. You could use medical tape. And then I mixed up some fake blood to put on the spikes. Now I am going to be coming out with a video talking about the different fake blood recipes that I use, so stay tuned for that.